We bomb back. Wakanda forever. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Keeona, and I am back with Zach.
Hello.
And this is our imaginary friend, Oscar. You can't see him, he's very camera shy. He'll be ready to talk when he's ready, or maybe he won't. But we are so excited to be coming back with you guys with another episode. And if you noticed by the intro that we just did, we are talking about none other than Wakanda Forever that came out last Friday, and we both have had the opportunity to go see it. Not together, but we saw it. And no spoilers, obviously, no matter how much I want to, because I really want to talk about one thing that I did not like. But what'd you think?
I thought it was a good movie. There are some things that I walked out where I'm like, oh, I wish that was better, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. I was very happy that it really honored Chadwick Boseman. Like the opening, after the opening 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, they're not gonna mess this up. I was so worried. This isn't a spoiler, it doesn't happen. But my biggest fear going in was that they were gonna have a CGI Chadwick Boseman and like try to explain his death in the movie, like, oh, he died in a battle or something. And I was so worried they were gonna CGI him. They didn't, and I'm just really happy with the way they handled it.
Yeah, I did hear that before he died, that Chadwick had some footage from the movie that he was starting to film for the movie, and I heard that they were going to use that in the movie, which I'm so glad that they did, because if they did, it really wouldn't make sense because of how they handled it in the first 2 minutes. But I was surprised that they just got right to it, explaining to it.
It was handled so maturely. It felt just very down to earth.
Yeah, it really did. And I will say this, and this is just an observation that I had, like, even though like Chadwick is dearly missed in this whole movie, you could feel and sense his presence. He was there, maybe not physically, but he was in spirit there, and I could feel it from every single character, especially Letitia Wright, who played Shuri.
Oh, she knocked it out of the park in this. The thing is with some movies, when it goes from like the main character to the supporting character being the focus, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, I was about to use the example of Cars 2, like Mater, but I'm not gonna do that. I was
one of my favorite movies of Disney, but not the point. But.
No, I like Cars 2 as well, but
underrated, by the way. But
yes,
go ahead.
but I loved her in the first movie, Shuri, and I kind of had the feeling she was going to be the lead in this. I was really looking forward to see what she would do, and she stepped up to the plate. Like, she was excellent in this movie, and the things that Shuri goes through as a character, it is so well done.
I know.
And yeah.
It broke my heart just because, I mean, obviously I'm not going to say anything, but a lot of things do happen to the point where she steps up to the plate, and man, I just lost my train of thought. But I felt like, you know how people have been saying that she's nah, never mind, that's a spoiler, never mind. But, you know, I'm just really, like, I was so impressed. But the one performance that I was really, really, really taken by, that gave me chills, was Angela Bassett.
Yeah, Angela. A lot of people are talking about Oscar, like potential Oscar nomination. Yes. I can definitely see that happening. There are so many scenes in this movie where she just completely brings it. There's a monologue that's been in the trailer that, in context, is it's so good.
It gave me chills. Like,
yeah.
But I will say this: the whole movie, I went to go see it with some friends of mine Friday night, and while we were watching it, like, I was in the chair, I was moving, I was shaking, because the movie felt so high-paced, which is never a bad thing, but I just felt so anxious because one thing was happening after the next, after the next, after the next. But that's what it felt like. It felt like it kept me on my toes till the very end.
Yeah.
And the villain in this character, Namor, everybody's calling him like top 3 MCU villains.
Yeah.
Which I'd say he's number 4, at least for me.
Yeah,
because he was really good. Because I love the whole underwater. Like they introduced a new world that was in the comics previously, and then to introduce his character from the comics in this underwater world. Was it called Talagon?
I think so. I remember in the comics, I think it was Atlantis in the comics, but
Okay.
they had to change the name because of copyright or just some things that they couldn't work out. So I've been calling it Atlantis because it kind of is, but also because
Literally.
I feel bad I forgot the name of it from the movie.
But I think
so.
it is Talakan.
Okay.
But I think it was so brilliantly done because I wanted to talk about the production, the costumes, the technical aspects of it. This movie felt more bolder. It felt more intense. It felt more like it had more integrity to it, which was a good thing, I feel like. Because if you're going to do a second movie, you have to, raise the stakes. And I definitely feel like this movie is going to get like Oscar nominations for its technical aspects, its costumes. Like that's what I think. So, because it was so well done.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Something I really appreciate is so Marvel over the years, I felt like a lot of the movies looked the same, and not like story-wise because they go everywhere in these movies. However, visually, they just feel like they're kind of the same movie, and it was always a shame because it didn't really feel like the director's vision. But I think like recently in Phase 4, they've been stepping in the right direction because some of the movies feel like they're letting the director actually like do stuff visually that's unique to them. And this movie, I felt, is very different from what the rest of the MCU is. It felt like Ryan Coogler's vision, and I really appreciated that. There's a shot, I'm not going to spoil the scene, but it's near the climax of the film where there's a bird's eye view of like a certain situation, and the shot was so good. Like, it just stuck out to me. I'm like, that was really good, and there are so many other examples of that in this movie.
Oh, and another character that came into the play in this movie, Riri Williams.
Wait.
She was the little girl from the college.
Oh, wait. Ironheart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I liked her character because it felt lighthearted.
Yeah.
And it felt like, and because I feel like Winston Duke, who played M'Baku, and then her, they were kind of like the whole light of the whole situation of the movie. They were the comedic ones, the funny ones to sort of, make it a little, to take the edge off a little bit. But what's interesting about her character is that I heard that she was in a Marvel show before she came into this movie.
Oh, I don't know. It may have been something like very vague that I didn't see, but I know she has Ironheart coming out in a few years. It's going to be a spin-off show, which
I think that's what I heard. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what I heard because I thought that she was in She-Hulk from what I've heard, but I don't think that's true.
I didn't see She-Hulk, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to watch it. I want to see if she is. I don't know.
Me too, but correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that, but that's just what I've been hearing. Like she was in a Marvel show previously before she went into Black Panther, or she's going to have her own standalone show afterwards.
Yeah. Another thing I want to say about Ironheart is that I liked her character introduction in this film when, like, just getting her in the movie. And I'm not gonna spoil the scene again. I'm trying to bounce around spoilers.
Know,
it's
me too.
It's insane.
So
but
hard.
the scene where it's a few minutes after they meet her, when they're talking, after a while I noticed, oh wait, this has been like one shot for like 2 minutes. This is awesome. Like it was another moment that made me think they let Ryan Coogler make a movie. This is amazing. But after the introduction with Ironheart, she's a big part of the plot. And
She is.
with this movie being 2 hours 41 minutes, I personally wish we had a bit more of her. Like I felt like as it went on, she kind of like stepped away from the movie and then came back in at certain moments where they were like, "Oh hey Ironheart, can you give us some more like some background?" She's like, "Oh gladly," and then she was like in like the climax of the film. But I wish that we got a bit more Ironheart because I did like her introduction so much, and with her being such a big part of the movie, I wish there was a bit more time added to her.
Yeah, and Ironheart, when you put it like that, like it kind of gives me mixed emotions about it because Ironheart and Iron Man. Because to me, is she trying to be the first female Iron Man? Is she trying to be the next Iron Man? Because her name is Ironheart. So that does give me that kind of gives me some thoughts about it. I love her character, I did, but there will just be not another Tony Stark and another Iron Man. So that's why I'm a little bit like hesitant to the topic of Ironheart. But I don't know. Maybe when it comes out, she'll do a good job. So
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I will see it. Don't get me wrong. But overall, it was a fantastic movie, a great tribute to Chadwick. And all I got to say is stick around for the post-end scene because it will shock a lot of people.
Yeah. I personally, I really want to watch it again because
Yeah.
I walked out of it, and a thing that I had is I felt like the 2 hours
You
41.
did not walk out of it.
What? No, I didn't. Oh, I mean walking out after the movie.
Oh, I was about to say, like, you walked out of the movie?
No,
Like,
I've never walked out of a movie before. I stuck through Cats, so
oh.
yeah, so I can never
Nope.
walk out of a movie after saying that. But no, I left the movie feeling like I wish it was like they used the 2 hours 41 minutes a bit more. I don't know, like I walked out and I did enjoy it, but there was also something missing where I'm like, I don't know what it is. I do want to rewatch it, but
Yeah.
definitely it's one of the better Phase 4 movies. If you've thought Phase 4 has just been kind of meh, I think this one will really satisfy you. And also, just Ryan Coogler gets to make a movie. They could have canceled this after Chadwick passed away, but
But they
this feels
didn't.
like they wanted to make it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Because I know from the cast perspective, at least from what I feel like Chadwick would have wanted them to continue on. So that's just me coming from a empathetic and spiritual point of view, because obviously we don't know the cast, but I feel like they wanted to do this for Chad. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did it. But then my friend said that the movie was 3 hours long. I'm like, it didn't feel like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because I heard it was supposed to be like a minute and like 10 minutes. I'm like, hey, if you can watch Avengers Endgame, then you will definitely be able to watch this.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so anything else about Black Panther or
As much as I want to spoil, because like there were like some huge moments, but since you were just going into talking about Phase 4, Phase 5 of Marvel was announced at San Diego Comic-Con a few months ago, and there are a few movies that were announced that I have questions over. Most importantly, Thunderbolts. I almost said Thundercats again, because I was just singing the theme song before we started, but the thing about Thunderbolts, this kind of reflects back to the show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Bucky and Sam obviously are the premise of the show, and then Bucky's going to be in this movie, but he's not going to be in the new Captain America film.
I didn't know he was going to be in the new one.
No,
Okay.
he's not.
Wow.
Which doesn't make sense because obviously I'm not going to spoil the show for anybody who's watched it, but because Captain America, even though I don't even know how to explain it because for people who haven't seen it, I just don't want to spoil it to them. It just wouldn't make sense that Bucky wouldn't be in this movie because he supports Captain America.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether or not this is going to be taking Bucky on a new trajectory of his character in Thunderbolts. And then there's some new characters that are going to be new superheroes that are going to be coming into this movie. So that's just where my hesitation comes in. And then with the new Captain America movie, a new Captain America is coming. That's the thing. How do I explain it without giving away too much? But it's the whole synopsis that they explained it was kind of confusing because Bucky's not going to be in this movie, and I think it's going to take on the challenges of how Captain America can take on a new threat with I don't know, but those are just the two movies that I have questions over because I love Bucky. He's my favorite MCU character, mainly because of Sebastian Stan. Don't judge me on it. But and then another one is Blade.
Oh, Blade is. I really want to see Blade because when they first announced it, I was so excited. But
Yeah.
recently, there's been a lot of talk that there's been a lot of messy developments behind the scenes. The lead actor, he is not happy with the script and stuff.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, and also I think Kevin Feige is trying to make it PG-13 when you really can't make Blade PG-13. You got to make it rated R.
You guys can't make Deadpool PG-13 because Deadpool is going to be filmed since Disney now owns the rights. That was like my one thing when they were trying to make a Deadpool under Disney, Walt Disney Studios. Is like Deadpool is an R-rated character. He's known for saying outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys think that you can buy the rights to this character and just PG-13 it for the kids?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be like that. So.
And also Ryan Reynolds would not stand for it. Like
Exactly.
He worked so hard for so many years to get Deadpool made, and if they just made it PG-13, like he would rain hell upon Disney.
I know. And it would just lose the premise of who Deadpool is,
Yeah.
like we've seen in the past 2 movies. But back to Blade real quick. I grew up watching Blade with my brothers. And funny note, whenever I wanted to watch Aloha Scooby-Doo, I either had to watch Michael Myers or Blade in order for them to get me to play Aloha Scooby-Doo on the VHS tape. So Wesley Snipes, I obviously loved him as Blade. There were 3 movies. I've seen them all. I loved him. And I think Mahershala Ali is a great pick for Blade. I have been waiting for this movie to be announced and to come out, but I just didn't know that there was issues behind the scenes. But I do get why, because I do picture Mahershala Ali as a very passionate actor. I mean, obviously because he's won 2 Oscars, but
Yeah.
I think he just wants to make sure that, you know, whatever the writers are planning on doing with this character did justice, not because it was played by Wesley Snipes, because it's like an overall like character that people know and love. So I can get why he's like really on them about it, but who knows?
2 big things that I'm really excited for in Phase 5. So Guardians of the Galaxy, it's always been really big to me. I remember going into the first film in 2014, and so I went into it with my dad just because it's been getting a lot of great reviews, and we thought it looked way too weird, so we're like, I guess we'll see it. And we both walked out adoring it. Like, we went to our, like, when we got home and my mom was just sitting in the kitchen like, how is Guardians of the Galaxy? We were just going off about it. She's like, oh, I thought it was just gonna be bad. Oh, okay, wow, it's a great movie. And
I have not seen one Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
oh, they're pretty good. I like how even though they're in the MCU and they were in Infinity War, the films themselves, you can separate them from the MCU, minus a few elements because, yeah, Gamora is Thanos' daughter.
I love her.
Yeah, she's so good. Like, besides that, they feel like they're kind of standalone, and James Gunn brings so much passion to those movies. I remember when Volume 2 was coming out, that's my most anticipated film ever at the time, and it's still holds up. It might be my favorite MCU movie. I think the themes that it brings up are so mature, so well done, and it's kind of nostalgic now because it's almost been 5 years. I was a freshman in high school when that came out. And
really?
yeah, and so back to actual, like, what's coming up from Phase 5 from Guardians of the Galaxy is the holiday special, Thanksgiving. This has been announced for like 5 years. It started as a joke, and now it's happening. And I don't know, even if it's not good, I think it'll just be funny how it exists. Like, James Gunn convinced Kevin Feige to make it happen. And then Volume 3 has fought against so much because James Gunn got fired, and then he got rehired.
He did?
Yeah, so in 2018, he got fired because some people pulled up some old tweets that he already apologized for, and Disney fired him for a long time, and then all the Guardians actors had to, like, sign a petition, like, everyone was against it, and
This is the deal with cancel culture these days. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, people make mistakes, they apologize for him. You don't have to bring up certain things and then, like, cancel him for it. Like, anyway, off topic, not the point, but...
Yeah, but so he got rehired, and they shot it last year, and they did show footage at Comic-Con. I did get an early look by, like, just finding some bad footage online, and I'm so excited for that movie. I don't know, like, every other thing in here I think has the chance of being good, but
Yeah.
Volume 3, it's right back to freshman year of high school where it's my most anticipated movie. I'm so excited.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I'm excited to see that one. But what else was I going to say real quick? But yeah, I would say my favorite Marvel movie would be Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I'm saying this right now, not because Sebastian Stan's in it, that may be part of it, but just because of the whole story and the plot line of it. Like, the action is so well paced, and just the story about how Captain America is forced to choose between what he believes in and following another corporation's, like, rules. So
Yeah.
other than that, That's my favorite. But unfortunately, we're out of time. But Zach, I want to thank you so much for joining me.
Yep, love talking about Marvel.
Yeah, as always. And Oscar, you okay? Huh?
Do you want to add any thoughts?
I know. Yeah, he's still shy. You need water? Need makeup? Okay, you good. But thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.